Aw, Lara Trump, daughter-in-law to daddy-in-law Donald, may have just found out what it's like today to cry wolf one too many times and the comeuppance that comes along with that. In our breaking story, Lara Trump just got bit by her own history and her own actions. And you know what the old cliche is? You cry wolf long enough, sometimes people stop listening. And on the other end of our breaking story today, I'm going to tell you about in just a few seconds, that bite that you get in the booty sometimes can come from a dog that's in your own house.
Lara Trump, the co-chair of the RNC, well, she has some interesting thoughts on the 2020 election. Take a listen.
It's pretty obvious that Donald Trump does accept election results, even despite the fact that it was a very questionable election in 2020.
Mr. Chairman.
What the hell is she talking about? She didn't talk to her father-in-law. Did she not just hear his rally? Of course he doesn't accept the election results. Stop it.
Because Donald Trump claimed that it wasn't a free and fair election. And there's no evidence to prove that. There were, 60 lawsuits where lawyers like the ones that you're hiring went through the process, which he had every right to do. And there was no evidence of widespread fraud. His Attorney General, Bill Barr, said that again. So it sounds like you're setting up the same question of free and fair.
Instead of having to respond days, weeks, or months later to any issue that we might have, are going to have people in the room every time a vote is cast and counted so that we can ensure if there is any question about anything, we're addressing it right then.
Lara, I also want to ask you about something he posted recently on Truth Social, where he actually called on the RNC, the organization you're a co-chair of, to activate now. And this was around mail-in voting. He said, he was quoting Tucker Carlson here with an election expert, that 20% of mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania are fraudulent. Here we go again. Where is the Attorney General, the FBI to investigate? Where is the Republican Party in Pennsylvania? The RNC must activate now.
And we want only legal votes counted in this election. And so I would just say it's imperative that we trust our electoral process. We at the RNC have worked very hard. We're hoping to reestablish maybe some of that trust that was lost in 2020.
Yeah. There's Lara Trump trying to put new lipstick on a pig of what she used to say in the past, because now she's the co-chair of the RNC. And because of what just occurred with a couple little minor glitches with the voting machines in Michigan, she's having a tough time convincing her own people in this breaking story. Take a listen right now. You're a moron. Election deniers lash out at Lara Trump. Election deniers have already seized on some isolated mistakes in the voting process in Michigan, and even Republican National Committee co-chair Lara Trump can't reassure them. A formatting error sparked confusion over the number of ballots cast in a key swing state, although the mistake was swiftly corrected with no extra votes being counted. But prominent election denier Matthew DePerno claimed on social media that his review of a voter records database showed more than 100,000 excess ballots were cast, reported CNN. Each of these voters only had one vote recorded for this election. The Michigan Secretary of State's office said in a statement, "This error in the data export process has been corrected, and these erroneous extra lines are no longer appear on the report." RNC co-chair Lara Trump, the daughter-in-law of Donald Trump, tried to clear up the falsehoods around the formatting error, which matched Democratic Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's explanation. "It was a glitch in the system," Lara Trump posted on X. "These duplicates were not and will not be counted." However, DePerno, a former GOP nominee for the state attorney general who was charged last year in connection with efforts to illegally access and tamper the voting machines in 2020, wasn't buying the RNC leader's explanation. "If you believe this is an export issue, then you are a moron," DePerno told CNN. See, that's the problem, Laura. When you spent so much time 4 years ago barking and crying wolf from the cheap seats, it's really hard 4 years later when you're the co-chair to get anyone to actually listen to you when a minor glitch occurs that gets fixed in seconds. As a matter of fact, here's an additional statement from the Michigan Secretary of State's office with regards to any form of election misinformation or disinformation.
Well, we're certainly seeing an uptick in people either with sizable influence in platforms like Mr. Musk or others using those platforms to try to sow seeds of doubt and cause suspicion about what is a very secure and transparent process. We hope that in particular, well, I would have hoped that someone as influential as Mr. Musk would use that influence to help spread actual factual information about our elections. We hope others will choose to do that, and some have. But for every citizen, you can go to michigan.gov/electionfacts to see all potential conspiracy theories put to rest through the facts and the details of what we do to protect the security of our elections, and really encourage all citizens to seek out multiple and trusted sources of information, and also to be prepared for an uptick in misinformation and confusing statements and allegations to occur in the days ahead.
Folks, unfortunately, they're just getting started. So do us all a favor. Vote Harris Walls. Do it now or on Election Day, and do what Obama said. Don't boo. Vote.